It's midweek, and that means it's time for another one of my Wax Melt Wednesdays episode. This is the 3-Wick Thesis Candle channel. My name is Tracy, and today's video is focused on empties from September, and I'm just going to do some of my empties that are just tools of the trade. One of those is a super jumbo bag. This is the 140 count from Target of the cotton balls. Yes, I am a cotton ball cleaner upper. I like to soak up the hot wax with cotton balls and also clean my wax melt trays with rubbing alcohol using cotton balls. I am not a pour it out into the trash type of person. That's just because I feel like this is less messy. Also, by the way, I wear rubber gloves when I do it because wax will get all over you on your hands and everything else. But I usually go through at least a bag of those a month. I'm down to about a half a bag, so technically about a bag and a half this past month, but only got one empty. I have, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, I have 19 Tealights empties. I'm not going to show them all to you, but just know that there are 19 here. I do get my Tealights from IKEA. They're relatively affordable. They're not the best quality. I think probably a third of them dud out with a third of the wax left. They're 4-hour burn time. I also feel like they go quicker than 4 hours, but they're not horrible. And I have, another pack and a half to get through before I switch brands. But got them, had those forever. I had those, originally purchased them for a Halloween tea light holder that I have. It's like a tree with little, like orange tea light holding vessels in it that make it look like it's glowing leaves. And I only used Tealights exclusively for that until I bought my Tealight wax melter recently, and then I've been using them for that now. So I will be changing them up once I'm through this stash. Let's get into my wax empties. I'm going to start with retail wax. One of them I got through is the Warm and Welcome from Goose Creek, and I'll start with Goose Creek because I have quite a few. That actually is my top retailer of wax empties. Warm and Welcome, if you are a follower, subscriber, frequent viewer of my channel, you know this is one of my favorite Goose Creek scents. I love it a lot. It's vanilla cashmere, marshmallow creme, vanilla orchid, white mocha, and creamy woods. And it is just your classic, warm, cozy, cashmere, vanilla body care vibe to me. A little bit perfumey, very warm, a little bit sweet. I think the wax melts perform very well. I almost want to say it's too good because I get bored of it and I want to switch it out, but it still smells and I don't want to waste it. I'm getting about 2 or 3 days out of 2 cubes at a time in my warmers, so I'll put 2 in and then it goes for quite some time. Love it though, so I'm not going to complain. I have repurchased it. It will be a repurchase. I recommend it if you want a strong, kind of perfumey, sweet vanilla cashmere. This one I would absolutely rebuy if it wasn't sold out. This is the Coconut Caramel Apple. This thing was a beast. Also long lasting. This was going probably 2 days, and that's also 2 cubes. And it almost filled my open concept space with just my single Himalayan salt warmer back there. So this thing is potent. Again, I got kind of bored of it, wanted to switch it out, but I'm glad that it was quality. It was sweet apple, toasted coconut, gooey caramel. And it is caramel apple-like, but it is different from their actual caramel apple, which I do also like, by the way. I'll just get my nose on this one. Yeah, this one is more apple forward and more tart. This one is sweeter and less apple, which is probably why I like it. I'm not always a huge fan of apple, and sometimes caramel apple especially can be offensive because the apple is really tart to combat the sugar, and it tends to read really high on my nostrils and register as very sharp to me. But I like both of these. This one was almost as stellar of a performer, not quite as long as this one. This was a day. This was 2 to 3 days lasting, and each one 2 cubes at a time. Caramel apple is crisp apple, warm caramel, and vanilla cream. Yeah, much more traditional. This one's just a little bit more sweeter, more gooey, and then has less of that apple tartness. I got through blueberry funnel cake. This one was okay, better than the candle. The candle got that burnt element to it that was really nasty. And so this one was like a nice substitute of like, at least I have the fragrance in my house, but it's not smelling charred from burning. Although I will say this wasn't very strong. I would put this at medium, leaning towards light, and it didn't last very long, a day at the most. It's sweet blueberry compote, powdered sugar, and fried funnel cake. The blueberry is really nice on this. It's jammy and also a little bit tart. The funnel note is subtle, and you get just a hint of sweetness. I wouldn't say I identify it specifically as powdered sugar. It just smells like blueberry jam, like in a toaster strudel sort of style. Because I was testing a bunch of new warmers this past month, which if you haven't seen that video, I will link it below. I'll also pop a card up here. It was a video I did about different warmers and wax melters versus lamps versus candle crocks versus bottom up. You name it, I explored it all, and I was testing some new Scentsy warmers, which, by the way, I did end up returning the hexagon, the fall hexagon one. I should say exchange it. So I exchanged it for a new one, and I pay a $10 fee. It covers the shipping through FedEx, and, you know, whatever. All I know is that one doesn't work at all. So I did end up exchanging that. But the reason I was using this particular wax melt, this is the Key Lime Cake Pop from Goose Creek, is because this thing is a beast. This is the strongest wax melt I've ever experienced. It is super sweet, super strong. You have to like key lime, and you have to like gourmandies. This one is older. It is from 2 years ago. This was on clearance for $1.99. So let me look up the scent notes. They don't put the scent notes on the old ones, but they do have them on their new ones. It's juicy lime, cake batter, vanilla icing, and sparkling sugar. And this is more cake than lime. It is very sweet. It almost smells like the sweetest possible, like Fruit Loop cupcake with frosting on it. Really good. Very sweet. Powerhouse. And I used these to test because I knew that if a warmer wasn't going to throw, I wouldn't be able to smell these. And that's how I figured out that 25 watt, beautiful fall hexagon warmer was not effective, because I could not smell that at all. It didn't even melt the wax to a full pool. So there's something funky with that warmer. All right, last retailer, and only one. I didn't have any Kringle or Country wax this month, which is weird. I usually have something. But even then with Scentsy, I usually have more than one, but I just have the one, and that's the Almond Croissant. This one is really nice. If you like Bath & Body Works Almond Croissant candle, that's what this is. You actually get an element of what feels like a flaky crust. It almost smells a little bit overbaked, in my opinion. And then you just have a beautiful almond marzipan. So it's like syrupy and sweet, but also nutty. Yeah, delicious. I would recommend this. I don't remember if this is still available. I think it's gone now. And I don't remember whether or not I clubbed it. It's good. I would say it lasted a day. Not super strong, medium at best. If it's not clubbed, yeah, I don't know if I would regret that. It's not, I'd be on the fence. If I did club it, it would be on the chopping block for my next delivery. Okay, so let's get into my vendor wax empties. I'm going to start with Lavender and Speckles because I had quite a few from her. And these were all gifted to me. Yeah, every single one of these were gifted to me by charities. So the first one, and I love this one. This is on a list of like, you need to buy this the next one it comes out, is Everyone Behave Naturally. This is Sugared Violets, Creamy Vanilla, Boardwalk Marshmallow Clouds, and it is fabulous. It reminds me a lot of Warm and Welcome, actually. It reminds me a little bit of Vanilla Sands from Goose Creek. It's just like a creamy body care vanilla, sweet, a little bit perfumey, and this thing was a beast. So she has on here that it was poured in April of 25, so it has been curing for a few months, but this lasted easily 2 to 3 days, and for a vanilla scent, did really well in my bedroom space, and that was in my Pooh Bear Element Warmer, which doesn't usually project that well, so this one's a good one. And I want more of this so I can also melt it in my larger open concept space, but I was saving it for the bedroom because I like to use more like body care scents in there because it just feels more fitting than like key lime cake pop, right? I want my bedroom to smell a little bit perfumey, not necessarily like I was baking cupcakes. So that one is gorgeous, absolutely on a rebuy list. Another one I got through is Beach Marshmallows and Palo Santo. This one is marshmallows, vanilla, sea salt, driftwood, a hint of s'mores, and it says it's her version of BBW's Beach Nights and Palo Santo goodness. This one, I liked the scent of it, but it did not project well. And I don't know when this was poured. It looks like it's older than the other. It's not a clamshell. And I think this is older because I don't think her labels look like this anymore. But it was not very strong. I barely got a sense of it in the room, and I was doing it in the Himalayan. I also tried it in the bedroom. So I like it, but I wouldn't rebuy it. It wasn't strong enough for me. I should say I wouldn't buy it. It was gifted to me this first time. Bless Your Heart. This is one that the hubs gravitated more towards because it's got a caramel note in it. This is toasted macadamia and caramel, and she has that that's a dupe of Brazilian Crush 71. I don't know what that is. I don't buy perfume or cologne, so hopefully you do, and if not, it was good. Beach Marshmallow, which is her version of Beach Nights and White Cake. This one also really good, but also did not project well in my space. Yeah, it's a little bit perfumey, but mostly I get that caramel and the toasted macadamia. The hubs liked it for that reason. He was enjoying the caramel note that was in here. This was from June 24, so plenty of time to cure. Just did not project. The last one from Lavender Speckles is Espresso Buttercream Pretzel. I did not like this one when I first melted it at the beginning of the month, and by the end of the month, when I finished up the bag, I enjoyed it. And that's because the Bath & Body Works, what is it, their pretzel one that came out this summer for Sass. I also didn't like that one at first, and now pretzel scents have grown on me. I think I actually enjoy them. So I was burning that, and it was increasing my love of pretzel, and then I ended up liking this by the end of the month. It's pretty well balanced between like a sweetness from the buttercream, a breadiness from the pretzel, and a pretty bitter note from the espresso. Not a good projector in my space either. This one did okay, but within a half a day, I couldn't smell it very much at all and ended up just changing it out. So I also would not buy that one. I have a few from Sassy Girl Aroma. One of those is a sample, and I did have my own sample of this, but I also think Charity Rose sent me a sample, and I don't know which one I used up, but I used one of them up. Lavender Water. I did also end up buying this in one of her brittles because I did like it. I bought it actually before I melted it, which whatever. I actually couldn't smell this very well in the sample size. I probably should have done it in my tea light warmer to get a better sense of it, but it just smells like laundry to me. It's pretty sharp. Very fresh. Feels a little bit aquatic. I have already repurchased this. I don't know if I would rebuy it again. We'll have to wait and see how the brittles do where I can put more wax in my warmer. This one is a winner, also from Charity. This is the Adam's Beach Party with strawberry pound cake and beach nights, y'all. Oh my goodness. So this is divine. Sweet, perfumey. You get that strawberry note. It's almost jammy. It feels like, yeah, a party at the beach. It feels like someone brought strawberry shortcake and someone's wearing some like vanilla body cream. And you're just enjoying your day at the beach in the sun. This one was also a solid performer. I had this in the Poo Element Warmer upstairs in my bedroom, and it performed really well. Lasted a couple of days. I was sad to see this one go. If I see this again, it's going in the bag. I also really enjoyed this one. This is one I had picked out, Blue Cornbread. I got this, I think this was in my first haul from her, if I recall properly. It's blueberry, toasted marshmallow, and cornbread. So good. If you don't like cornbread, you probably won't like this one. The blueberry is syrupy and sweet and feels natural and authentic. The cornbread literally smells like a hot out of the oven cornbread muffin that you've broken apart, and you're getting that like steamy cornbread sniff with some butter on it. So phenomenal. It did okay in my open concept space if I put it in like all the warmers I have down here. And even then I had to use 4 little squares per warmer. I started using 2, couldn't smell it, added a 3rd, couldn't smell it, added a 4th, and then I could finally smell it, which that's pretty normal so far that I'm experiencing with Sassy Girls, that I have to do 4 squares to really get scent. But that also means that I go through these brittles, which are pretty expensive, quite rapidly. in my space. So still experimenting with her wax. Who knows if that's just the blueberry scents or the cornbread scents that throw that way. But that one had, you know, medium projection at best. I have some from Teddy Bees. Both of these are also samples that were given to me by charity. One of them is Campfire Stories. Yeah, this one must have been unremarkable because I don't remember it. Yeah, I think it was light. I burned this one in the Himalayan. It's delicious. It's a little bit perfumey. It smells, again, like a, which is common with Teddy Bees, is perfumey. It smells a little bit like a body care, a little bit smoky. Feels a little bit woody to me. I like it on cold, but it did not perform well for me in my space. And then iHeart Vanilla and Spiced Apples. This one did perform well. I got quite a bit of the apple in here, and it was well balanced with the vanilla, and I was surprised by how much the vanilla projected. Yeah, tartness of the apple. The spice does not come through that much. And then this is her iHeart Vanilla, which is kind of creamy, a little bit perfumey. Really nice. I probably would get this again if I wanted to blend it with a lot of the apple candles I'm doing. It wasn't something that super excited me that I want to like highlight in my spreadsheet, but if I saw it again, I probably would consider it. I have a few from L3. These are all ones that I received as samples with my recent order. Only one of them I could really smell, and that could be because they aren't old enough. They weren't cured enough. I got these in August. The one I could smell really well was Pistachio Pudding Cake. And I think these are just scent notes. Pistachio Pudding Cake, Zucchini Bread. Is that supposed to be Dreamweaver? I don't know. It says Deem, but I don't think that's right. Give me all the carbs. And I guess that's one of my complaints about L3 is the lack of spelling and punctuation. It makes it very difficult for me to understand what's in it, especially as a reviewer to have to read this while recording and not be able to make sense of it. That's a little bit frustrating to me. But this one did really well, even in sample size. I like her pistachio. It was creamy, nutty, and then the zucchini bread just gave it a really nice bakery scent. I probably would rebuy this in a future haul if I continue to shop L3. I'm still, the jury's out. I have not decided and I haven't melted enough. I'm letting the wax cure more, so I don't know exactly if I'll do another order. We'll see. Dulce De Leche Pie is one that I went ahead and threw in my warmer. This was another sample. Couldn't smell it though. And I can't smell it now. Yeah. This just is like completely unscented in the bag, and I could not smell it when I melted it. Brown sugar, is it brown sugar, fig, and Tahitian with vanilla beach night type? I don't know what the scent notes are. Without the comments, I have no idea what I'm reading. This one also did not have any projection. I do like her beach nights. It's vanilla body care. I pretty much love anything with that vibe. It is a little bit more perfumey, in my opinion, than some of the other beach night types. And I know Charity Rose sent me a scoopable of L3's beach nights, and it was almost too perfumey for me. So like alone, it's almost too much. So if you really like perfumey beach nights, you might like L3's. But this one, in the sample size, fresh out of the mold, did not perform for me. So I would not rebuy that one. I have some here from Virgil over at South of Sanity. I got through his little sample of Halloween Night, which I love. I have since bought this in 2 of his candles. Perfect throw and projection. I did this in my tea light warmer. It was actually so strong I had to burn it out. And that was just a little tiny sample, y'all. That's how strong his Halloween Night is. Super, super strong. If you want a very strong, what feels like the Halloween party from Goose Creek, it's got like patchouli vibes to it. If you like that, pick up his wax melts. You will not be disappointed. I also got through his 1031. This one, medium performance. I put this in my kitchen and I have 3 warmers in there and kind of just put 2 cubes in each and it did okay. It's got like a candy, like anise or licorice note in it that I really like. And that's what you could smell. That's what got projected. But it also feels a little bit earthy. Feels a little bit cool and sweet at the same time. Really like this one. I would repurchase that. I got through his fall Carnival, and this one's kind of like a mixed bag of like caramel sweet, popcorn or kettle corn. It smells really, really good on cold, but unfortunately I could not get this to project in any of my warmers. Even with the Tealight one, I feel like it would come to life for like an hour or two and then just fizzle out completely. So burned through the squares pretty quickly trying to get it to work. I ended up blending, I think, my last 2 squares with the Sassy Girl, the Cornbread, and that worked. Which I was also blending this one with his blueberry muffin, or blueberry pancakes. This is the blueberry pancakes. Yeah, pumpkin blueberry pancakes. Because this one was also pretty light. So I probably would not rebuy these 2 just because they are on the light side in the wax melt form. This one is delicious. It's like blueberry and maple, a little bit of spice, but didn't get enough projection for me on that one. And then I also finished up the pumpkin spice latte. I would say this one was medium leaning towards light. And I was actually blending this one with another retail wax I had from Kirkland's in the fresh brewed coffee. So I was using these 2 together. This one actually is surprisingly strong, but no longevity. So kind of beasted out, filled the space wherever I put it in the warmer, and then was gone within 3 hours. Which for the price, I guess I'm okay with that. But it did help to amplify the coffee note that was in this one. So it kind of made this one stronger, and then this one just complemented it nicely. So I was melting these 2 together. I probably would not repurchase this one. Again, I want something a little bit stronger. I may repurchase from Kirkland's, but with the expectation that I'll be changing my warmers out 2 or 3 times a day. So that's not a bad thing if you like, get bored of scents, but I was surprised at how quickly those disappeared. I also melted this scent shot of the Fluffer Nutter from Candles by Victoria. This one was almost unscented on cold, and when I warmed it, it did okay. It's a 2-ounce scent shot, and it was very creamy, and I got the sense of peanut butter in it, but it was ultimately kind of one-dimensional and a little bit boring to me. So I would not get this again. This was also gifted to me from charity. Glad I've experienced it, but it's not one that I would buy myself. I also used up the sample she sent me from the Melted Mousse. This is Resting Grinch Face. This has pistachio nut cupcakes, gooey marshmallows, and vanilla latte. This was poured in December of 22. It had no projection, no strength. It smells okay on warm. It's a little bit artificial, that latte note that's in here. It's kind of that classic, like almost fake chocolate vibe you get from coffee scents sometimes. So I'm not crazy about it on cold, and then it just was pretty much unscented on warm. So I would not pick that up again. She sent me a sample of Black Opium from K's, which y'all, oh my gosh, I love this. I didn't know Black Opium was like a fragrance of perfume or a cologne. And this is a dupe of that. It's a vanilla cream, orange blossom, cedarwood, patchouli, and coffee. And I think this is also what, is it Midnight Addiction at Bath & Body Works is duping Black Opium. I think I like K's wax better. I just love the vanilla that's in here with the patchouli and how it's playing with the cedarwood. I don't get coffee on this, but then I don't get coffee with the Midnight Addiction either. Maybe a hint in the background. It performed okay in my bedroom space. I would definitely pick this up again with a K's order, which I do need to do because I'm almost out of my Witch's Brew. And then this one was a sample that I got from Rose Girls. It's Autumn in Cookieland. This one did not perform well. I would say light leaning towards medium, and it didn't last very long, maybe a half a day, close to a day. I do like the scent, however. It's Leaves, which is a BBW type, Campfire Marshmallows, Pumpkin Pecan Waffles, Cookieland, which includes toffee, covered pretzels, confetti cake, and cookies. It's very sweet. It's very appley and fall-like, but it did not project. And it didn't last. Yeah, I feel like I'm getting like caramel, something caramelly. It's got to be the pumpkin pecan waffle note. It must be maple I'm picking up on. So it was good. Could be that I didn't let it cure long enough. I don't know. But I enjoyed it. Just wish it would have been stronger and lasted a little bit longer. And the powerhouse of the bunch, which I was completely surprised by, this is from the Brass Coffin. This was a sample of a wax melt called Wake the Dead that she sent me with 2 candles that I bought. The one candle I ended up destashing. That was in a recent destash video because it was basically unscented. That was the matcha fragrance. And then I have another one. I forget what it's called now, but I showed that in my October rotation that I'm going to try. I don't know if that one will have any strength or throw, but I can tell you these wax melts certainly did. And this is an absolutely phenomenal orange scent. It's almost like a cleaner orange. It's very fresh, very juicy, very bright. It was very strong. This was, I think I ended up getting 3 different burns out of this sample. You did not need much. Just a very small chunk of the sample in my Poo Element warmer upstairs, which is the weakest warmer I have in my house. And this thing filled my bedroom. I looked on her website because I wanted more of this for the hubs and it wasn't available, which is sad. It always, I don't know, irks me a little bit when vendors send you a sample that you can't actually buy. It's like, I want this now. I go to your website, it's not available. But I will be stalking her website to see if this gets replenished because I do really enjoy it. It's Wake the Dead. I do wish that it was also sent in a proper bag because this thing, I originally just tried it the first time, loved it, and then I was going to save it and I put it in my wax bin and you could smell it like walking into the room. Not because it was in the warmer, but because it was in this bag and losing its scent. And I just finally bought some of my own proper plastic bags to store wax. Otherwise, I would have transferred it. So I do wish this was in a more appropriate bag for wax melts. All right, y'all. Those are my empties. Tell me in the comments below, what empties did you get through this month for your wax melts? I'd love to share all those details with you in the comments below. If you like this episode, you like this series, give me a thumbs up. That lets me know that you're enjoying this content and motivates me to keep creating. Take care. Happy midweek, y'all. See you later. Bye-bye.